Hey guys, we are giving away $5,000 total today during this springtime. We have given away 2,000 out of the 5,000, so if you guys want a chance to win, head over to our Instagram account at MostAmazingOfficial and follow us, and look out for the contest images for your chance to win. Most of the time when people sit down and watch a kids show, they usually just think it's something simple that has no hidden messages and will keep their kids quiet long enough for a cold drink and 3 seconds of silence. But there are some people who can't leave anything alone. They think that there has to be something hidden in everything, which means just sitting down to watch Peppa Pig will unlock some suspicion that something nefarious is afoot. I am, of course, your host, Traderena. You are, of course, the most amazing Top 10 family, and I am going to be fueling your suspicions with today's list of Top 10 Scary Peppa Pig Urban Legends. If any of you at home are interested in getting some more Top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We do everything over there from updates on new episodes to cash giveaways, so head over there to check out all of that amazing content and make sure you stick around until the end of this list because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys all love. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram, and without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10, we have Mutant Island. So Peppa Pig takes place in a world where all the animals are like people, and they walk around and do things just like any one of us can, and this happens because it's a cartoon, right? Well, in the real world, yes, but this is a list of urban legends, so that doesn't really apply to us. We only want to dive into the deep recesses of our mind and find all the things that could be true but are more outlandish and strange, like the idea that Peppa Pig, the whole show, takes place on an island that is being monitored by scientists. There were several experiments performed on different animals to make them more like humans. Some of these were extremely successful, but the true nature of the work wasn't just to create sentient animals, but also to assimilate them into a society and discover what kind of social structure they would create. These big-brained overlords built a world for all these intelligent life forms and then put them on an island to let them grow into a community. There was a chance that everything could have been turned into a purge, but it turns out they lived so kindly that we started watching them as a kids show. At number 9, we have Mr. Potato is Farming You. You might know the character from Peppa Pig known as Mr. Potato. This is the massive potato that comes to town sporting a sick cowboy hat and epic mustache. She is easily the most fashionable character on the show based on the description I have just given you. Well, what is Mr. Potato's goal for the whole town? Well, he wants everyone to exercise so they can stay healthy and live long. Well, that's what he wants you to believe. The real reason Mr. Potato is so keen on getting everyone in top physical condition is because it will make them taste better. He came to town to make sure all of his cattle were well taken care of, so he has something to feed to his potato buddies. That is the real thing that is going on here. I mean, he's not even flesh and blood. He's not even in the same kingdom of biology as the rest of the people there. His only goals are to farm animals so he can use them for consumption and get revenge for all of his fallen potato brothers that have been consumed by the humanoid animals. At number 8, we have Peppa Pig almost killed Australia. The urban legend is that if an Australian executive didn't stop a certain episode of Peppa Pig from airing, the whole country would have fallen and millions of people would have died. Well, that's very much an exaggeration, but there was an episode of the show that never made it on air in the land down under because of safety issues. The episode in question had a central theme of respecting all living things. So it shows Peppa very afraid of a spider, but her father talks her down and convinces her that spiders are nice, which leads to Peppa and the spider becoming good mates and hanging out like old-time pals. Now, this is a no-go for the Aussies because spiders aren't cutesy things that help the other bugs go away. No, they are not. For the most part, they are extremely dangerous and can kill you in minutes. So you can understand why Australia didn't want to encourage kids to befriend these 8-legged demons. At number 7, we have the animal hierarchy. Why is it that some animals in the Peppa Pig world are like Peppa and her family? They are intelligent and able to navigate the world like regular people, but there are other animals on the show like Tiddles the tortoise and the bird that lives with Grandma and Grandpa that are still stuck in a regular animal state. Some say this is because only the worthy are chosen. The town of self-aware animals chooses which pets have served them best, and those few are chosen to join the ranks of higher consciousness. Who knows how they actually would do this? Maybe it would be through some sort of machine, or they pray to a deity to give them knowledge. No matter what your thought process is on this, it's very strange that some of the animals are blessed with such gifts and others are forced to be dumbed down, which brings me right into my next point. At number 6, we have removing intellect. Everyone in the Peppa Pig world is so kind to one another. Now, is this because it's a kids show that has been built to teach kids how to behave properly and grow up to be respectable individuals? Or is there something more sinister hidden behind the shadows? There's a possibility that instead of them flourishing in a world where they choose which animals to make more intelligent, they actually punish those those who have wronged the society by removing their intellect and turning them back into their true animal form. That is why you have some animals that walk around the world like pets and wild beasts, and others that have IQs like you or me. They might have a 3-strike system. You break the law, any law, 3 times, no matter how trivial it is, and you will be unwillingly sapped of your wits. This kind of oligarchy keeps all the citizens in a state of friendly fear. At number 5, we have where do you get a date? Something very strange about the Peppa Pig universe is that all the animals from different species are related. So how does anyone meet someone they don't know to potentially date and build a happy, healthy relationship with? Could this be that when someone gets older, they have to look to a cousin as the best possible prospect for someone they could grow old with? Or do pigs and zebras have to be open-minded when it comes to relationships? I don't think this will ever be brought up on the show, but it's a question that I would really like answered. Just bring in some foreign animals from the same species that aren't blood relatives and I'll be able to sleep a little easier. At number 4, we have the swearing pig. I think a very important part of a kids show is they need to be wholesome and not introduce young viewers to anything that could corrupt their impressionable minds. Well, there is an urban legend that Peppa Pig dropped the ball on this one. In one episode, a character references a band in the show called the Rocking Gazelles, but because of this character's particular accent, it sounded more like he was saying the effing gazelles. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks on that one. No one knows if this was a misunderstanding or if an employee behind the scenes actually implemented this into the show, but there was a massive wave of backlash, which was damned with a fortress of apologies. That's how it always works. At number 3, we have Daddy Pig's parents. In the long-standing family chain of the pigs, we never see the two responsible for bringing Daddy Pig into the world. Now, there could be a lot of reasons why we never meet them. This could be because they've passed away, and in a future episode of the show, we'll be introduced to the concept of death with the missing grandparents. But a more outlandish theory is that Daddy Pig is hiding something. Some people suspect that maybe he's in the witness protection program for something horrible he saw. Perhaps he knows about the de-evolution process that is going on behind the scenes. Or he might have been a criminal himself and then sold out his cohorts for a chance at a fresh start and freedom from his life of crime. So in other words, we have no idea where this dude comes from. At number 2, we have Georgie Pig isn't a pig. Think about it for a second. Every single animal in the Peppa Pig universe has a name that matches up with who they are. They all work with the same alliteration scheme, like Peppa Pig. So why is it that Georgie's name isn't like this? Now, this could simply be that the family is branching out and trying something new. I mean, they have their own show, and we all know that celebrities like to name their kids weird stuff because I think their lives have been so manufactured they don't actually know how to be unique. Like, what the hell is Elon Musk's kid's name? But it might be tied into our previous point of dating outside the species. Georgie could be a mix of different animals, which means Papa or Mama might have had an affair. Oh my God, where is a good fainting couch when you need one? And for the number 1 spot, we have Miss Rabbit is a god. All hail the almighty rabbit. Think about it for a moment. Miss Rabbit pops up all over the show and has a different job almost every time, and she's always an ace at it. When she does this, she often is the central part of the lesson for that episode. A common trick that gods would perform from ancient mythologies would be turning into a human or some sort of animal to see how people would act when they don't know the gods are watching, and then they would pop out and be like, haha, I was a god this whole time, you got pranked. And if they were good, they would give them a bunch of riches, and if they were bad, they would curse them for 1,000,000 years. Maybe that is how Miss Rabbit is able to take on all these roles, and why she aids the civilians of the Peppa Pig world to be more angelic in their morality. Alright everyone, that is our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets each day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who messaged last, so if I don't pick you, you can just message again and again and again. I don't care how many times you message me. If it takes me a little while to get back to you, I'm very sorry. I have a lot of these to do. Without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. We'll start off with a big old floofer who's named Brontosaurus. Look at how cute this guy is, just showing off his nice toy. Next we have Zelda, who has the biggest, cutest eyes I have ever seen. After that we have Louie, who is having a nice little cat nap, just chilling. Then we have Willow, who is watching me. That cat has some great taste. And to close it out, we have the cutest picture of this cat, Snow, who is just all curled up and snoozing away. All right, everyone, that is it. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, you know I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I have been your host, Che Dorena, and keep coming up with these crazy conspiracies about these kid shows. I love checking them out. Bye. I am, of course, your host, Che Dorena. I am, of course, your host, Che Dorena. You are, of course, the most amazing... I am, of course, your host, Che Dorena. You are, of course, the... I am, of course, your...